Hi everyone, good morning. I wanted to pop on this morning and have a chat about inflation. You may have seen the post I put up this morning. I just want to have a bit of a more in-depth chat for anyone who wanted to know a little bit more about it. So as you've probably seen, inflation's gone up to 4.2%. So that means in the last 12 months, the cost of goods and services has gone up by 4.2%. And that's the highest that it's been in the last 10 years. So the Monetary Committee, who decide on interest rates, their job is to keep inflation under 2%, and it's obviously a lot higher than that at the moment. So what's going on with that? And our interest rates are going to go up as a consequence. So I think at the moment it's a bit more complicated than just that. So, when you learn about sort of economics and the way that economics works, the government have got various different ways that they can keep inflation low or kickstart the economy by increasing inflation. So there's loads of things that they can do. They can pump money into various different economies or industries. They can create jobs, therefore pushing money into the economy, which then causes people to spend money. And therefore prices generally go up because people have got more money to spend. So things like holidays and nice things that we can't always afford become more achievable. In order to bring inflation down, they can increase interest rates, or they can stop spending money pushing money into the economy, and therefore on the whole people have less money, so therefore prices of things come down because there's less demand. So that's kind of how it all works normally. At the moment though, there are lots of things causing this inflation which is outside of that. So we've got various issues with oil and gas supplies from Europe, from Russia. We have got obviously supply chain issues because of Brexit, and we had the Suez issue over the summer. So there's loads of things that are kind of outside of all of that normal, if you like, reasons why inflation would push up. So my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, is that I think that the Monetary Committee will try and hold off because there are so many consequences of pushing interest rates up. And I think at the moment, when everything is so uncertain, we've just finished furlough and the furlough scheme, although everything looks really positive with that at the moment. We are in the lead up to Christmas. Employment is generally higher at that point. Hopefully we'll have good spending over Christmas. Lots of companies will be employing people just for that Christmas period. So will that continue after Christmas? I don't know. No one's going to know how that's going to continue. So increasing interest rates now at a really vulnerable time in our sort of economic recovery from COVID could be catastrophic, really. So I don't know. It may happen. I may be wrong, but I think they will probably hold out and see whether it kind of resolves itself. Supply settles, Brexit settles, and whether we can get through Christmas and see how it goes. But I think that we can sometimes get really bogged down in what's happening with interest rates. Outside of that, is it a good time to buy property? Is it a good time to secure interest rates and things like that? And we kind of forget about the bigger picture. And I'm a big believer in looking at the bigger picture in terms of if you've got money sitting in a savings account with a bank, you're not going to be getting any more than, you'd be lucky to get 0.5% interest on that. So whether the interest rate on your mortgage is 1%, 2%, 3%, or even 5%, if you can use that money that you've got to invest it and create more money, then it doesn't actually matter what that interest rate is. All that matters is that you're creating more money than the alternative. So it's all about comparison, isn't it? Can you use that money for better purpose? So if you can, secure refinance properties, secure a low interest rate, happy days, absolutely go for it, and do that. But try not to think about a potential increase in interest rates as a barrier to investing in property, because A, it's a complete unknown, and B, that will stop you thinking of the bigger picture, i.e. your yield, your ROI. That's what you need to be focusing on. Stick the figures in the calculation. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not a good deal. And that doesn't matter whether base rate's 0.1 or 1% or 5%. Historically, interest rates are much, much higher. So we've had years and years now of really, really low interest rates. And I think we can kind of forget that we are sitting in a world where interest rates are incredibly low. And if you go back 20 years, people wouldn't have ever dreamed of a base rate of 0.1. So let's think about it as a whole. Let's see what we can do as a whole, and let's not try and use it to a barrier. Let's see it as an opportunity. And yeah, think of the bigger picture. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you've got any comments, and I'll speak to you later.